I was muted that whole time? What the hell? I was talking and saying all kinds of stuff. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Hope you had a good day, good evening. And there's this massive fallout. People are angry. People are upset. Some people feel betrayed. Some people say it's 2D chess, 3D chess, 4D chess, 5D chess. This is a strategic, plotted plan to get the other side to release the documents, and so we're not going to release them so that the other side pushes to release them, and so then it's released. Some have claimed aliens have come down and communicated with Trump and have warned him about releasing the Epstein files, and so he's decided, for the better of humankind, not to release it. Some people say, well, there was never a list to begin with, or that it's some international, other government psyops involved, and that the government would collapse. Some of them say that it's two judges in New York holding on to the files, and they made an agreement, and it's out of their control. And some say that they just misspoke. You misheard for years and years and years and years and years as they've pushed this Epstein stuff. There should really be more conversation about how Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer somehow became a federal judge. There's something seriously broken in the system. Bill Clinton speaking at Joe Biden's Democratic convention. As if people asking questions are being ridiculous, and why are you bringing this up? When for years this has been brought up in a topic of conversation. Now, there's a lot of hypocrites in this too, though. There's a lot of hypocrites because some of these social media people, social media influencers, and some people have called them out. But previously they were like, we need the files, we need more transparent, we need all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And now all of a sudden it's switched. We're going to get to some of that. And some Democrats too are jumping in, like Gavin Newsom, when he's never requested it any other time in any other presidency. But now he's jumped on the wagon of requesting it, I guess, for, I don't know. So let's start with this post first. The radical left Democrats have hit pay dirt again. Just like with the fake and fully discredited Steel Dossier, the lying 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, which the Dems swore had come from Russia. No, it came from Hunter Biden's bathroom. And even, wait, I'm not reading the same thing from the other day, right? This is the one where he says BS? Wait, am I reading the wrong one? No, this is from today. Where does it say BS, though? Oh, it's right there. Okay. For a second, I thought I was reading the old one, because he's done this a couple of times. This is now him triple doubting or quadruple doubting. I just want to make sure I had the right one. And so he says, even with the Russia scam itself and a totally fake and made-up story used in order to hide crooked Hillary Clinton's big loss in 2016 presidential election, and these scams and hoaxes and all the Democrats All the Democrats are good at. It's all they have. They're no good at governing, no good at policy, no good at picking winning candidates. Also, unlike Republicans, they stick together like glue. Their new scam. Oh, he's taking shots too. Unlike Republicans. Oh, snap. That boy taking shots. Also, unlike Republicans, they stick together like glue. Their new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax, and my past supporters have bought into the bullshit. Oof. Hook, line, and sinker. They haven't learned their lesson and probably never will, even after being conned by the lunatic left for 8 long years. Conned by the lunatic left for 8 long years. I have had more success in 6 months than perhaps any president in our country's history, and all of these people want to talk about with strong prodding by the fake news and the success-starved Dems is Jeffrey Epstein hoax. Let these weaklings continue forward and do the Democrats' work. Don't even think about talking of our incredible and unprecedented success, because I don't want their support anymore. Oh, shit. Oh, I don't want your support anymore. And some people got really upset about this, very frustrated, took this really to heart. Some people. Oh, very angry. Thank you for your attention. Make America great again. So there was a full chaos today. And Savannah here said, so we're all aware Trump's most loyal supporters who have been jailed, censored, silenced, beaten in the streets for wearing a MAGA hat, fired from their jobs, canceled for supporting him, all the same people who have been calling for the Epstein list. Wow. Tossed to the side like trash. This was the video clip too that went viral. Let me play this clip for anybody that missed it.
Mr. President, I know you want to move past all this intrigue over the Epstein files, but I do want to ask you to clarify something you said this morning. You said this was all a hoax. Has your Attorney General told you this was a hoax? What evidence have you seen?
No, it's not the Attorney General. No, I know it's a hoax. It's started by Democrats. It's been run by the Democrats for 4 years. You had Christopher Wray and these characters and Comey before him. And it's a bad group. It started, actually, look at the Steel Dossier. That turned out to be a total hoax. The 51 agents, the intelligence, so-called intelligence agents, it was a hoax. It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats. And some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net. And so they try and do the Democrats' work. The Democrats are good for nothing other than these hoaxes. They're bad for policy. They're bad for picking candidates that can get elected. Like in New York, we have a communist running. He may get elected too, actually, but he'll destroy the city. It's I call it the Epstein hoax. It takes a lot of time and effort. Instead of talking about the great achievements, we've had a great gentleman yesterday, as you know, went on CNBC and he made the statement that Trump may go down as the greatest president of all in the United States. And instead of talking about the things we've achieved.
What am I missing here? He's the one that said that the Epstein files would be released should he be reelected. What is this fuckery?
This just sounds so funny. A lot of people are upset, man. I don't know how you guys feel. I don't think it's the right course of the way he's handling it, or at least a better explanation besides just dismissing everybody's concerns. We're going to get a little more into that later, but maybe a better explanation or breakdown, just, I don't know, the response that we've been getting is no good. It's no good, man.
We've had tremendous achievement. They're wasting their time with a guy who obviously had some very serious problems, who died 3-4 years ago. I'd rather talk about the success we have with the economy, the best we've ever had, and all of the things we've done, including the Middle East. I mean, you see it. Instead, they want to talk about the Epstein hoax. And the sad part is it's people that are really doing the Democrats' work. They're stupid people. Yeah, go ahead.
Woof! And he's talking about the people that have been speaking out about it. Supposedly, social media, some of the really big people have gotten calls from the White House. I think what's his name? forgot the guy's name. TPUSA, whatever they call it, USA, whatever, right? The guy, he had some big influencers got calls. Even Candace Owens said they got a call. Well, I think they told her to chill out because she was calling the French's president, the wife, like a man or something. There's all this stuff with that too, whatever, allegedly, they're claiming that. But so, yeah, that whole thing is a mess. Now, some people say Trump's been handling it just fine. There's nothing there, or, I feel like I want to play a little bit of this. Hold on, before we get to Benny Johnson, I want to play a little bit of this. Hold on. That's from earlier.
Social media personalities duping them, trying to convince them and others that they didn't release those documents. The same thing that Kash Patel, director of the FBI, Dan Bongino, deputy director, second in command, J.D. Vance, and President Trump himself were campaigning on back in 2024. Now it's all just BS, and we're weaklings and dupes of the Democrats. And this is why you should never meet your heroes, so to speak, or idealize celebrities or politicians. In this case, obviously, President Trump is both. And well, it's not surprising that President Trump had lied in order to get into office and gain support of the general population, because the system is so corrupt that he had to lie. Legit, not a little secret. He had to lie about various other things to dupe the American people, who largely are morons, into supporting him. But this is one of those lies that is unacceptable. So let's get into it. This is going to be
Okay, so we saw that video. I just wanted to play. He had a nice montage that I think was worth playing here. All right, here, I just wanted to play this snippet.
But they got duped.
But have you talked about it?
Duped by you, though, to be honest with you, because I said this, I did a little members live earlier today. I was just hanging out for a little bit and talking. I was just like, he's saying this about people, but people listen to you and the people around you, the FBI director, all these people, that's what they listen to. So I feel like basically what you're telling people is not to believe anything you say, don't trust anything you say, because you're telling those people you've been duped.
on B. Man who vowed to release Epstein files berates idiots for believing there are Epstein files.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein. A lot of problems.
I guess we need to add the director of Trump's FBI.
But they've been saying this for a long time, because some people want to say, oh, it's just a little, oh, no, it's just a little, they slip up. They don't know what happened. They've been saying this for years. You can literally go back and find years and years of shit.
Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein. A lot of problems.
I guess we need to add the director of Trump's FBI, Kash Patel, and his second in command, deputy director, Dan Bongino, to those lists of dupes who believe the Democrat hoax.
Please do not let that story go.
Who has Jeffrey Epstein's
Black Book?
Black Book?
FBI.
But who? That is I mean, there's.
Oh, that's under direct control of the director of the FBI.
What the hell are the House Republicans doing? They have the majority. You can't get the list? Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the files are.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so, because, you don't know it. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there, because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would.
This isn't about Epstein or 9/11 or JFK or RFK. It is, but it isn't. It's about a bigger thing. If you're lying about that, you're lying about everything. Who's on the Epstein tapes, folks? Who's on those tapes? Who's in those black books? Why have they been hiding it?
Release the list.
I mean, they've been doing this for so long. And now it's like, what are you talking about? Right? And then everybody else is being gaslit now, but for asking questions about this.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
It's so important that Pam Bondi duped those conservative social media personalities into thinking that she did release them. And on those binders, it also is labeled the most transparent administration in history.
Hey, you know what was really funny, too? Elon Musk had replied under somebody's comment today and said, all right, so, whatever. They say there's no more. That's the extent of the files, minus, the child stuff on there and the victims. And so he went and said, okay, well, what happened to phase 2? This was phase 1. What happened to phase 2? There was this whole show. There was this whole, song and dance. There was this whole, we're going to invite these people to the White House and a special presentation, and you're getting these special binders and you're special, and this is phase 1. I guess no phase 2, 3, 4, 5. What? This is phase 2.
History. Donald Trump also posted this lengthy screed on Truth Social.
Okay, yeah, we got that already. There was one more thing, and we'll get to the other stuff later. There's just one other snippet I'm going to play here.
Epstein, but maybe President Trump is in the files. See, maybe he did get honeypotted by Jeffrey Epstein, but even if that is the case, it certainly wouldn't have been with children, okay? We all know that Donald Trump is a philanderer. He is an adulterer. The allegations of him having an affair with Stormy Daniels, probably actually true. Probably just one of countless affairs that he has had. Okay, we didn't elect a...
Maybe he hooked up with a trans or something. Maybe that's what they got over his head. And so he doesn't want it to come out or whatever.
Pastor. We didn't elect someone because of their moral qualities and their personal relationships. We hired a businessman to fix the country. And so maybe he is in those files. I'm not...
Stormy Daniels. So I don't know. So that's part of like the whole fiasco. Let me check. We're going to listen to this a little bit. We got to be careful with Joe Rogan.
And they don't. You got the director of the FBI on this show saying there's no if there was, nothing you're looking for is on those tapes. Like, what? Why did they say there was thousands of hours of tapes of people doing horrible shit? Why did they say that?
Right.
Didn't Pam Bondi say that?
What, are you talking about Epstein or Diddy?
Yeah, Epstein.
Yeah, she said it literally, I think, a week before you had the FBI director sitting here telling you there was nothing, right?
She said something about that there was like thousands of hours of tapes of people doing horrible crimes.
There is. And didn't the FBI dude say that there was nothing?
Cash Patel said there's nothing you're looking for. Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, what am I going to do? I'm going to push back.
Right. No, of course. I understand.
Obviously, he's saying what he has to say.
Right.
Mystery surrounds the Jeffrey Epstein files after Bondi claims tens of thousands of videos. Tens of thousands. Jesus Christ.
I'll tell you what.
Oh, my God. Was reviewing tens of thousands of videos, the wealthy financier with children or child porn. The comment made to reporters at the White House days after a similar remark to a stranger with a hidden camera raised the stakes for President Donald Trump's administration to prove it has in its possession previously unseen compelling documents. Or just bomb Iran, and everybody forgets
Just bomb Iran, yeah.
Everybody forgets about it.
Oh, if you guys could help me out with the like button, please hit the likes for me. Help me out in the algorithm. I appreciate that. Gracias. Why is Trump annoyed? Because he knows he was the ultimate target, and yet some of his own supporters, this is Dinesh D'Souza, some of his own supporters, what they say here? Seem to have forgotten that. They think they are MAGA and pro-MAGA, and Trump owes them because they made him. But isn't it more accurate to say he made them? What the hell? Give the man some respect. So you're not allowed to ask nothing. I wanted to get this Alex Jones thing too. I saw a clip of it. I wanted to find it for myself. You're not allowed to ask You're not asked to ask anything or your loyalties in question. You can never question or disagree, I guess. You're supposed to be a zombie. Bow down. Let's check this out here.
You know what, Trump? I'm glad the Democrats aren't in, and I like a lot of the success you're having, and we're all having together. And your statements about, you people that bring this up don't even deserve to be involved in this movement. You are excommunicata. You are henceforth ex cathedra. from the mouth of the God King, you are expelled from the church of the Holy Golden Toad, Donald John Trump. Well, I was never in the church of the Holy Golden Toad. I do like you being a maverick, standing up for the country. We have the same enemies. I respect your stamina and courage. Been a big cheerleader when I agree with what you're doing. But if I'm being excommunicated, let me be clear, I was never in your church to be excommunicated. So you can't excommunicate me because I was never in your church. I was never in a cult. And I never said MAGA was a cult. I said a lot of people want it to be a cult. You know, there are Dallas Cowboy fans that are in a cult and literally commit suicide if they lose, you know.
Really? Is that a thing? Is that really a thing? Because, I mean, with the LA Dodgers, I was very surprised. What was it, last year or the year? I don't remember when it was, last year or the year before, how these people carried to the streets. I mean, I guess there's other sports or teams too. But okay, they carried to the streets and what I thought was celebration. Okay, then things are starting to get destroyed. People are I think they took over a bus or something. They start lighting shit on fire. They were carrying on as if they lost. Oh, and some guy blew his hand, disfigured his entire hand. I guess because the team won. You would have thought they lost. God forbid when they lose what these people would do.
The Dallas Cowboys isn't a...
This water tastes like microplastics. What's going on with this water? Maybe it's been sitting out too long or something.
Cult, but there are people that have made a cult out of it.
Microplastics.
So, being a dog owner doesn't mean you're in a dog worship cult, but the Zoroastrians do worship dogs. So, you see what I mean? But now, Trump, if this continues down this line, if he starts saying, I'll excommunicate people, well, you're not allowed, even unless it's a cult, to say to people, you either agree with everything I do and don't question things, or you're not in our club, I don't want you. Well, that kind of sounds like a thoroughbred cult to me. And if I keep hearing more talk like that, it's basically where I'm already at. And I already said this. I'm going to give Trump report cards. It's basically what I already do, but we're officially going to start doing it on basic issues. I'm going to get the head of the John Birch Society on, who actually puts out report cards, or the experts on it, the really good report cards. And we'll just start doing a monthly report card on Trump and say, okay, in our view, he did good here, he did good there. You can look at the report card, you can look at where he did bad, and that's it. And so I'm not going to be emotionally invested in this because I've never been a joiner. I pride myself in that I'm the captain of my ship, and people support what I do or believe what, a lot of what I'm doing is right, then you support us. But when somebody starts saying, don't question things, or you can't be in our club, yeah, that's a cult. And I'm not a
damn, Alex, what? Oh, shit.
Cult joiner. I never have been. My operation's not a cult. My crew's not a cult. You don't have to agree with me around here. People see my hosts saying different things than me. I respect them. I think they're...
Well, Trump, too, that's it, right? He can't be reelected again, so maybe he'll just go all out, crash and burn, and maybe, in the sense with this topic.
Smart. We agree on 90% of stuff, but that's what I want, is to, have good patriots that really care, and we agree on 95% of stuff, but people say, I don't get this. Harrison Smith says something different than you, and so did Owen. What's going on there? We'll see, because this is about individualism. We're not in a cult. And so I pride my relationship.
Okay, so I think we got the gist of that. I wanted to hear what he had to say. Oh yeah, this was the post. Can someone explain this to me like I'm 5 years old? Let's zoom in on this. Trump promises to release Epstein client list if he wins election. September 2024. There are no client lists, there are only files. That's why he calls it a hoax. Alan Dershowitz was Epstein's lawyer, and he said there's no client list. It's a carrot, a shiny object. Well, he said, we're going to play the video. He said there's an affidavit, supposedly, that these two lawyers are holding on to. Tim Pool says Trump is trying to nuke his fan base. And Elon replied here and said he should just release the files and point out which part is the hoax. Yeah, he could do that. He could do that. This was Donald Trump Jr. Show us the Epstein list now. Why would anyone protect those scumbags? Ask yourself this question daily. And that's kind of interesting and ironic. They're saying here, ask this daily, but now you're not allowed to even question, well, why did this happen? And can you explain this? And you're being called all kinds of stuff because of that. And now you're crazy. Even though they've been telling you for God knows how many years to question it and just hammering it every day, you know, and now the time's come and you're like, oh, what's up with that, you know? Ghislaine Maxwell's family has now released a statement saying she didn't get a fair trial. We talked about this the other day, too. They're trying to get it to the Supreme Court. DOJ doesn't want it to go. If the files aren't released, her lawyers will appeal her case and make the case for why she should be released. Our sister Ghislaine did not receive a fair trial. Her legal team continues to fight her case in the courts and will file its reply in short order to the government's opposition in the U.S. Supreme Court. If necessary, in due course, they will also file a writ of habeas corpus in the district court SDNY. This allows her to challenge her imprisonment on the basis of new evidence such as government misconduct, and that would likely change the trial's outcome. Following the government's response, David Oscar Marcus, counsel of our record for our sister in her petition to the United States Supreme Court, had this comment: I'd be surprised if President Trump knew his lawyers were asking the Supreme Court to let the government break a deal. He's the ultimate deal maker. And I'm sure he'd agree that when the United States gives its word, it should be kept. With all the talk about who's being prosecuted and who isn't, it's especially unfair for Ghislaine remains in prison based on a promise the U.S. government made and broke. I'd be surprised if President Trump knew his lawyers were asking the Supreme Court to let the government break a deal. I'd be surprised if he knew. He's the ultimate deal maker. So there's that. There's that. This is Southern FAA. Says, Dear President Trump, I voted for you 6 times. If wanting to see justice for the victims of crimes against children makes me a bad person, then so be it. You did this to yourself, signed a very bad person.
Semiconductors and chips.
Mr. President, I know you've urged people to move on, but I'm curious, why do you think your supporters in particular have been so interested in the Epstein story and so upset about how it's been handled?
I don't understand it. Why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is.
Everyone fell for.
When you say psyop, do you mean like just like oh, there's all this stuff there and all this whatever, and it was all just for an election purpose, just to rally people behind them, and that they're going to release all these files and government secrets? Maybe. Yeah, possible.
I really don't. And the credible information's been given. Don't forget, we went through years of the Mueller witch hunt and all of the different things, the Steel Dossier, which was all fake. All that information was fake. But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say let them have it.
Mr. President. Almost think he might have been better off not saying anything. The multiple responses, quadruple down, and kind of let it ride out. But I feel like every time he comments, it almost ignites the fire back, you know? Milo says, I'm so close to saying something insane. I checked. I didn't see anything. Well, he's always posting crazy stuff, but I didn't see anything insane to this yet. What was he going to say? He was there or something? So this is somebody here. He said he's a loyal supporter since 2016. I lost a job. Friendship's been smeared online, doxed, and pressed charges on people who've stalked, harassed me for supporting him. If Trump doesn't want my support because I care about the Epstein files, then I'm done. So some people really feel very strongly. Some people, their livelihoods have, been affected. Sorry, but making myself comfortable. Livelihoods have been affected. People have lost their jobs. People have lost their prior relationships, marriages, whatever. And some people feel some kind of way. Now, this guy, I'm going to get to his post in a minute, too, because he agrees with how Trump is handling this. Some people agree with it, the misfit patriot. And some people are saying, goodbye, we don't need you. Did they say anything about the Epstein stuff here or no? Oh, the 20 promises to... Oh, yeah, but the Epstein files. Bye. All right. There's another person. I don't know who this is, but Jesus is King, author, content creator, podcast host, Victor Nieves. And so he said, I accept your terms, Mr. President. You don't want my support. It won't be given. I'm out. Unfollowed. So some people are very upset. Yeah, I'm not following you anymore. All this stuff, and this is really beneficial for the other party. They should take advantage of this. They should. The Democrats. I don't think they've had anybody interesting in a while. They need to come up with somebody else that can run against. All they need is like somebody half decent. They don't need much. It seems like they can't even produce that. Just somebody that's a little bit balanced, someone in the middle. They could probably win something. Well, and it's going to be interesting because I saw something else where they were saying Robert Kennedy Jr. was planning on. There was rumors about him running for president next. Let me see if I can find it. There was something. I don't know if I saved it. Might be running next. Kennedy. No. I saw it somewhere. But yeah, not Epstein. Elon Musk had talked about starting a third party. I think it's called the America Party. And so Keem here said, release the Epstein files or we're voting for a third party in the future. No, we ain't. No, we're not. I ain't voting for a new party. And so Gavin Newsom jumped in on the Coca-Cola announcement. I don't know if you guys saw it. I talked about this earlier today. And big news if you're into Coca-Cola, if you're into drinking soda. I'm not a big soda person at all, but I ordered some Mexican soda or made from Mexico, some crap tomorrow. It's coming. I'm going to try it out, put it in the fridge. But I'm not really into soda because I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to get a little bit better. Last thing I need. And I just never really cared for soda like that. But anyway, there's a big announcement. And I have been speaking to Coca-Cola about using real cane sugar in Coke in the United States. And they have agreed to do so. I'd like to thank all of those in authority at Coca-Cola. So big announcement, huge. For those people that are interested, some people are maybe excited for this change, make America healthy again. And so they're going to use cane sugar. I know some people that are die hard. There was this guy I knew many, like decades. I haven't talked to him in a really long time. And at one point, I got into really good shape, and he was asking me oh, what'd you do, man? And I was asking him what he eats and stuff, and I was just like, what? Can you just cut back on the soda? Because he would drink soda all day long, multiple times a day. He had this huge container. I used to work with a pharmacist. I had he'd come in, he'd go to 7-Eleven, but he had this fucking thermostat, the thermal thing. But I never seen something. It was just like this, fucking just huge, this thing. And he would refill it probably 3 times in an 8-hour shift. He'd bring it in from 7-Eleven, and then he'd go down to the cafeteria and refill it. And he was this huge guy, and he was always like sweating. Just like he just walked to the bathroom, just sweating, drenched, armpits, everything, full of sweat, and drinking soda 24/7 because that's the only thing that guy could drink. And I remember a buddy of mine a long time ago, I was like, why don't you just cut back on the soda? Just cut out the soda. Like for some people, I think you cut back one thing. Cut back one thing and it'd probably change your life. So maybe those people, I don't know. I wonder if that'll make a big difference for the big soda drinkers that drink it every day, multiple times a day. Maybe for them, I don't know. Maybe for them it'll make or maybe it'll get them even more hooked. Maybe they'll become more hooked. And then we were talking about earlier in another stream. I said he should have announced like Coke back in Coca-Cola, because that would be something people are like, oh shit, the world would. If he really wanted to distract or move on from the Epstein stuff, announce Coke, even if it's not true. Just say you're gonna do it and don't do it. I guess like the other stuff, and say you're gonna put Coke into Coca-Cola. Then there would be chaos and people screaming, "Oh my god!" Ah! And I tried. I would definitely try it. You know. But anyway, so Gavin here, he goes, oh, thank God, I've totally forgotten about the Epstein files now. Gavin taking his shots, because he hates Trump, but, it's fine. But the interesting thing, and some people have called him out, based on searches of X posts and other social media, Gavin Newsom made 0 public requests for the Epstein files during the Biden administration from 2021 to 2025. His only recent mention is July 14, 2025, post criticizing the disappearance. So that's what I think. I don't know if that's what Trump means when he's saying the hoax. Because when you say the Epstein files is a hoax, I mean, it could mean so many things. But I think it's almost potentially a slap to a lot of people, maybe even victims, like in their face. Oh, it's a hoax. It's all a hoax. Or they created it. Now, I don't know if he's trying to say, well, some people believe that a lot of the files were deleted anyway. Long time ago anyway. The real stuff, the incriminating stuff, maybe was deleted and whatever a long time ago. Or some people believe that the files were manipulated and stuff. Who knows? They've had it. I don't know. Did they add them or I don't know. So it's a whole mess. Whole mess. Gavin jumped in. We covered that already. Johnny MAGA here says, Trump held approximately 120 campaign events during 2024 election cycle. Epstein didn't come up one time. It was not a campaign promise. And somebody here said campaigning isn't limited to rallies and speeches. It includes podcasts, live streams, etc. And I've played this a couple times already.
For a lot of people that the list of clients that went to the island has not been made public.
Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it? Probably will be, by the way. Probably.
So if you're able to, you'll be.
Yeah, I'd certainly take a look at it. Now, Kennedy's interesting because it's so many years ago. They do that for danger too, because, endangers certain people, et cetera, et cetera. So Kennedy is very different from the Epstein thing. But yeah, I'd be inclined to do the Epstein. I'd have no problem with it. But a lot of big people.
So there's that. And then also somebody called out this guy on. A lot of big people went to that island. Fortunately, I wasn't one of them, in quotes. Trump says he released the Epstein Island logs. That was September 3rd, 2024. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people are like hypocritical. Because he himself, these accounts really just go where the wind blows. A lot of these people go where the wind blows. Wherever the tide is shifting is where they shift. They never really stand on anything or have any kind of whatever. It's just wherever the tide is going. So let's say a lot of some of these influencers kind of called out on that kind of stuff. So the Misfit Patriot, so he agrees. He said, I'm actually glad this is how Trump is responding. You don't negotiate with terrorists. And when the right, woke right, so there's a new thing now they're calling the woke right, is lockstep with the Democrats, maybe it's time to reevaluate. If you want to leave MAGA, then effing leave. He's got a country to run, and you're falling for the psyop. So some people believe this is all a psyop. This is all just, to take Trump out. This is 2D chess, 3D chess, 4D chess, 5D chess. The what do they call it? The whatever government. I forgot what they call the shadow government or whatever. Some people think it's the aliens. or just a psyop. This is all one big psyop. And then some people believe too that, maybe there's just people on the list, and maybe they want to press charges on these. Maybe they're working on a case. I personally don't think these people are. If they're not dropping this stuff now, I don't think they're gonna in the future start prosecuting some of these people. They'll be dead by the time will probably be dead if they ever prosecute by the time they prosecute these people. Candace Owens says, I estimate Trump is about 4 days away from calling his base a bunch of deplorables. That would actually be kind of funny. But some people are saying they're fake MAGA or fake supporters just for questioning the Epstein thing. Which, like I said, this is something that they've been talking about themselves for years. And honestly, if there was somebody else, let's say Kamala was in office, these people would be screaming from the ceiling right now. There'd be posts every day. If it was the other way around, they would be screaming, having a shit fit, but because it's not, well.
Love the chat here. Everyone is level-headed. Thanks for your streams.
Thomas, hey, thanks.
Air.
I really thought you were going to say, because I just heard the voice, I didn't look at it. I thought you were going to say everyone is racist. That wouldn't make sense. I love the chat, I don't know. I don't know why that just popped in my head, but. Okay, so Alan Dershowitz, let's do that. This is the interview that a lot of people were talking about, and I'm going to play this. And then I'm going to play a little bit of, if I can find it. Can't think of this guy right now. I'll think of it.
Hiding a client list
Tatum.
Anything that the Trump administration could release tonight?
No, there is no client list.
Let me boost the volume up a second here.
There never has been a client list. A client list suggests that Jeffrey Epstein made a list of people to whom he trafficked women. What there is a redacted FBI affidavit from accusers. There are several of them. From accusers that accuse Jeffrey, that accuse various people of having improper sex. And that has been redacted. The names of the people accused have been blacked out. Now, of course, because I was the lawyer and I did only investigations, I know who all these people are. I could figure out, based on everything that I...
So that's the thing, too. They're saying that supposedly they're okay, there's these victims, according to what Alan's saying. And some people don't even trust Alan, but according to what he's saying, there's these victims and they've accused all these people. And there's not a list per se, but there's these documents, these affidavits that contain these documentations. Now, the thing that I think is interesting about this, that a lot of people, a lot of citizens aren't afforded that. Like if somebody accuses you, well, we're just going to keep this a secret. What happens when somebody accuses you? It's all out there. It's on blast. You got to defend yourself. You got to fight. You got to go to court. There's a shit show. Everything happens online. Oh, look at Diddy or just any other case where people just make things up about you. Nobody else. I'm not afforded that right. Nobody else is afforded that. But these people, I guess they're special. The people that were accused, and so they're afforded the right. I guess when you're at the top and you got money and you got influence, I guess you're afforded that right for it not to be put out there, I guess.
Saw who Mr. X is, Mr. Y is, and Mr. Z. I can tell you right now, none of them are public figures who are currently in office. Some of them were previously in office. Some of them are.
So he's talking about. So that's one thing. That's if you believe Dershowitz. He's saying none of them are people that are currently in office, but people that were previously in office.
I can tell you right now, none of them are public figures who are currently in office. Some of them were previously in office. Some of them are dead. But there is no client list. And the redactions could be undone if you go to court. So many of the things that are being suppressed by two judges in Manhattan. And they're doing it largely to protect the alleged accusers who are, in the view of the judges, victims, even though we don't know what their actual status is. But the judges have issued orders, which is why I can't disclose things I'd love to disclose, saying that you can't disclose this information. But Pam Bondi and the Justice Department and Donald Trump are not responsible for that. I don't know of any information that they could disclose that they haven't disclosed. Now, maybe there is some, but I'm simply not aware of it. And so...
Well, then you have, like I covered the other day, Laura Trump that came out and said, well, there's more that's going to come out. So what else? After you guys said there's no more, there's more that's going to come out. And Trump seemed to disagree with her statement, though, so I don't know what's up with that.
I think it's important to place the blame where the blame deserves to be placed. The vast majority of people who are in the files, and I know them all, I've seen all the names, the vast majority of them have already been disclosed. They're in articles all over the world, they're in books that have been written. So if we got everything, you would be shocked how few names are there that haven't already been disclosed. The media hasn't, by the way, done a good enough job in finding the people who have been disclosed in the public record. So that's that list. Then there's the videotapes. People say there must be sex tapes. I know the whole story there. There is a videotape, maybe several videotapes. They came under the following circumstances. Before any of this happened, Epstein was robbed by one of his employees of money and of a licensed gun, and he called the Palm Beach police, and they installed video cameras, not in the bedrooms, but in the living room. And those video cameras recorded some people, but there's no sexual allegations there. So there's nothing to that. And then there's Tucker Carlson's absurd allegations about the Mossad. There I know it from very, very personal experience. Why? I was representing Jeffrey Epstein. I asked him about everything, including...
As if he would tell you, though, if he was Mossad.
Whether he had any contacts with intelligence agencies. If he had, he would have been dying to tell me that, because I could have used that to get him a better deal. If he had worked with the Mossad or the CIA, that would have been golden for me. But of course he said no. And then I checked it with my sources in Israel. Let me clear. I once represented the Mossad when 5 Israeli Mossad...
Oh, there you go. You Mossad. I didn't know you were Mossad. That's why. There you go.
Were captured in Cyprus. The head of the Mossad...
you present him as yeah, you Mossad, bro.
To represent them. I did. I got them out. And the Mossad sent me a congratulatory note. I'm friendly with many of the people who have been heads of the Mossad. I'm not going to tell you who my sources are, but I can tell you with absolute certainty he had no connections to Mossad. He only got connected to Israel.
To tell, right? Oh my God, the words, right?
Very late in this, when he met Ehud Barak and he made business dealings with him. But there was no connection to Mossad. The reason that story generated is because his girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell's father, probably did have a connection to Mossad, Robert Maxwell, but it had nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. And as far as the suicide is concerned, of course it was a suicide, but it was a suicide, I believe, assisted by jailers. It was not a suicide that he could have committed alone. I think the jailers had something to do with his cellmate being dismissed, with the cameras being turned off. So there are things that can be hidden, but there's no smoking gun here.
Assisted.
And there's no fault on the part of this administration, as far as I can tell.
So, Professor, we both know, like, the answer to why Carlson and these other guys are now using Epstein as an article of convenience is because it works. For them to say he's a Mossad agent, it's a great way to advance and keep relevant the anti-Zionist movement that's going on right now. Sure. I've never seen conservatives, this Charlie Kirk thing that they just did, it used to be puzzling to me why the evangelicals loved Israel so much until I understood the whole nature of the rapture and all this second passion and all this stuff. But now you've got this wing of conservatism that seems to be matching this wing of liberalism where they all hate Israel. So Tucker's riding that wave, and this is now an article of convenience for him with Epstein. But what I don't understand is why doesn't...
They're saying the woke right. Damn.
Bondi say what you just said. I get why the president doesn't want to own this, frankly. But why doesn't she say, it's not on me. What I had on my list is this FBI thing that's redacted that I thought I could get unredacted, but I can't. I got to go to court, and I'd have to fight it out with these 2 judges, and it's not...
That's what I'm saying. Why not? Let's say if this thing is true. Let's say that the judges, it could be, I don't know, let's say the judges are withholding in New York this information, and why don't they just communicate that? Just, all right, if that's the case, say that, and then go about your day. People are probably not going to accept that, but some type of explanation or something.
Not going to be easy. Why doesn't she just say that?
Well, I think
because it's a psyop, it's the government.
I think she should say it.
The shadow people.
There may be reasons why she can't say it, because there are restrictions on what an attorney general can say about potentially pending cases. But I think there's enough.
You can't say that. Oh, it's whatever. It's pending through the court. That's it.
Enough that she could say. And I think it's true if she said that there are these judges. Now maybe the answer is she should go along with the media and make applications to the judges to unredact and to make these things public. And maybe your station should do the same thing, and other stations.
Yeah, you motherfuckers do. You're over here talking this and that. Go ahead and do it.
I don't think there should be.
Y'all have done this for years.
Kept, as you know, from day one, I said everything should be disclosed. I waive all my rights of privacy. I waive all my rights of confidentiality.
Wow, what you did? What's up with you?
Anything. Please disclose everything, because I knew that disclosing everything would, of course, exculpate me, and they haven't. And so I'd like to see everything come out now. Now,
they even said Kevin Spacey made some type of. I saw a post the other day. Kevin Spacey, bruh, he come over here and said something. Kevin Spacey, House of Cards. I knew he was funny the way he was kissing that guy in the show. Like he was, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying the way it was very passionate. I was like, oh, there's something wrong with this motherfucker. But Kevin Spacey, and he's been accused before, released the Epstein files, all of them. Didn't they say he hung out with them too or some shit? Kevin Spacey, wasn't he with Ghislaine? Wasn't there some picture or something? Kevin Spacey, Ghislaine. Now I know picture just, doesn't necessarily mean they did anything, but I'm just saying. Yeah, release it. Over here, he's sitting on a throne and shit. What the hell? Release it, madame. How did this guy get into power? How did this guy get the money that he got, Epstein, and to get all these people to do all their little dark desires and parties and stuff? What was up with that? I'm over here sitting on a throne. On the British throne matters. All right, so Kevin Spacey has spoken. For those that care, I thought there was a guy that said he got too handsy with him or something like that. Let me see. Kevin Spacey accusations. 2017, Anthony Rapp, actor in Rant and Star Trek Discovery, publicly accused Spacey of making advances towards him in 1986 when he was 14. Spacey was 26. Spacey responded saying he didn't remember the incident, but he did apologize. What was that? I thought there was other stuff. 2023, Spacey was charged in the UK of 12 sexual offenses from alleged incidents between 2001 and 2013 involving 4 men. Damn, 4 men. But he was found not guilty. In July 2023, he was found not guilty in all charges. Okay, right, he beat their case. All right. Netflix removed Spacey from the House of Cards. He was fired in 2017. He was digitally removed from the 2017 film All the Money. Yeah, they green screened his ass out. As of now, Kevin Spacey has not been convicted of any crime related to allegations. Okay, he's attempted minor comebacks, but remains largely ostracized in Hollywood. Public opinion remains divided. This stuff, even if to beat the case, it destroys your life. It can potentially destroy your life. Very serious stuff to say about somebody. But anyway, he said, release the Epstein files, all of them, for those of us with nothing to fear. The truth can't come soon enough. Maybe he feels this will vindicate him. Yeah, put it out there. I hate to make this about me, but the media already has. So I don't know how people are accusing. Well, he's in those pictures, I guess. So maybe he feels this will vindicate him. And maybe he can make a comeback. House of Cards 2. Anybody watch House of Cards? House of Cards was dope. Until the end. To the end, it was a little too much. Putting his tongue down that guy's throat. I think he was really enjoying that. It says, yes, let's see, hold on. Are there actually any files? Why has it not been done yet by even any organization who can make revenue from it just for the sake of it? The Epstein files exist, thousands of docs, videos, and records from investigations. DOJ's July 2025 memo confirms no client list or blackmail evidence and unaliving official. Partial releases occurred in 2024 on sealing, but full disclosures withheld the victim's privacy, graphic content, and lack of new ideas. Kevin Spacey accuser Linda dead by car strike. Damn, on some House of Cards shit. Massage therapist suing Kevin Spacey for assault. Dies ahead of trial. What the? Okay. Oh god. Oh damn! Are they hammering him? Woo, Spacey. Oh man. Kevin Spacey speaking out. Release the files. Oh, I want to play this snippet too. I think this
said they want to talk about
this was
Place the blame where the blame deserves to be placed.
Now, let me say this. I agree with most of what he said, but not the part about the judges and not the part about there's nothing to be released. If there's nothing more to be released, like, think about this real quick, and I got to get to the stories. If Dershowitz, if the government had said what he said, I don't think people would be mad. That's why I don't know if he's 100% accurate about what he's saying. Because if Pam Bundy would have came out and said exactly what he said, I think people would have been like, oh, okay, all right.
I don't know if people would have been satisfied with it, but I feel like if she would have explained something like that, maybe it would have been the firestorm that it is, or Trump making the several comments that he has about it.
We get it. Okay, I see where it's going. We're willing to be patient. They didn't do that. They came out and shamed us for even daring to.
How dare you question the king, you peasant! Shut up and get back in your corner. Do you question me? Shut up. I made you. You're nothing without me. Shut up, peasant. Get back into your corner. Don't make me backhand your ass back into the corner.
Have a conversation about this, and Trump is like, I can't believe we're talking about this. So, in part, that's why I want us to slow down with the nuance, because maybe there's not a list, but maybe the list is not what people are looking for. They're looking for the names. Technically, it's not a list. Right. There's still names of people.
That's a good point too. The nuance, and I feel like a lot of people, not a lot of people, I feel some people are strawmanning that argument. Well, when people are asking questions, they're like, "Oh, well, we can't put videos of kids out to you. They're asking for kids of videos. This inappropriate video. Nobody's asking for that." But some people will argue that whole thing of like, "Oh, well, we can't just use videos, and we can't put that out." That's not what people are talking about. They're talking about the names on that. Now, like I said, I don't know, man, because nobody's offered that kind of, somebody comes out and says you did this horrible acts, accusing you of this stuff. People are not offered some type, well, we're going to protect you and not going to put it out there. Look at Kevin Spacey or any of these other people. Or if somebody were to come out today and start accusing you of some shit, you think they're going to offer you some type of like, you know what, sir, we're not going to put it. No, they're going to put your shit out there. And it's unfortunate. But these are people with a lot of money and resources. They'll be fine. The regular Joe would not be fine, probably,
But also, like I said before, maybe the names of people that are being accused of false accusations that haven't been proven in the court of law. But yet, when people get the list, they're going to shame these people no matter what. Let's get to a couple stories here, because I want to go.
Okay, so that's Brandon Tatum. He's been kind of covering. I've watched some of his stuff. All right, let me see. What else? Is there anything else? I just want to touch on those craziness stuff. Oh, real quick. I know we haven't even really talked about it since it happened, but I kind of just mentioned it offhandedly. This whole situation with this Air India where 260 people were killed. There was audio that came out where the co-pilot can be heard asking, why'd you shut off the gas to the fuel to the engines. That's basically a death sentence. Right when you take off like that, you're still climbing, just took off, you cut the power, the fuel to the engines, you're done. Probably there's almost no way to recover from that shit. Experts believe the senior pilot of Air India flight that crashed last month, killing 260 people, may have intentionally shut off the fuel switches. Black box recordings reveal that the co-pilot panicked after asking the captain, "Why did you shut him off?" While the captain remained calm. The captain was just like, "I didn't." He just chilled while this thing is going down to crash. And I've watched stories. I've gone down this crazy rabbit hole, this toxic rabbit hole of plane crashes, knowing when I have to go fly and stuff. You know, it's gonna be in my mind. Gonna pop a Xanax for that. But there have been stories of pilots that have done that, self-sabotage the whole plane. Not many, but there's some in history. Well, I guess they want to hurt themselves. They just take everybody out. I don't understand that. Take yourself out. Why are you going to take out 260 people? We have to see, though. I don't know. I guess they're going to still investigate it, but they found that there's no reason to do that. They said it's very hard to believe that this was by accident. This doesn't. It's not something that just happens by accident. Very intentional. And homeboy's calm, cuts his shit off, and he's just chilling there. Imagine, and you're the co-pilot, like, you know, it's okay, bro.
Here's one problem. So you have people who accuse other people. We don't know how many of those are true, how many of those are false. So if you're going to disclose the names of people accused, you also have to disclose information about the accusers. And the judges don't want to do that because they want to protect the victim.
You don't have to put out the accusers' names. You can put Jane A, John Doe, whatever.
Victims. And that's right. And so you can't have it one way.
Professor Dershowitz, thank you very much. I wish everybody would just listen to you tonight and take it as fact, but we know this is just too tantalizing. You're going to get dismissed as an agent of AIPAC and of Israel, and you know, it's all nonsense. But look, all we can do is tell them the truth. Thank you for putting out there from what you know. And again, I've talked to people who represented victims in this. I've talked to people who represent players in this. And I'm telling you, nobody has said anything different than what Dershowitz just said, just for whatever it's worth. Professor, thank you for being on. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
The professor.
Dershowitz. It was a video I watched earlier. Oh, here. I could play a tiny snippet of this. This is Blair White.
A movie?
So she interviewed this lady. This lady, we saw her. Alex Jones interviewed her recently. This lady. This is a victim. Epstein survivor.
Yes.
You deserve to laugh more. You know, you deserve this, you know, to hold on to you as if you have nowhere else to move around the room or anyone else to meet. It seemed like he was already crossing boundaries with you because he was likely very comfortable doing it with other women and girls before you. Just that small thing, you know?
Yeah, it was so weird. Like, and now with people saying about clones and everything, I'm almost wondering if it was a clone. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Maybe.
I'm sorry.
I think she said, I think on Alex Jones, that she believes she saw Epstein shift into, I don't know what. Did she say, I forgot what she said. She said she thought she saw him shapeshift. I don't know. And she's mentioned something about clones. I don't know if because she feels like it was so surreal.
Let's talk about that. This is the part of your story and of other victim stories that I've heard and read about. This occult aspect, this strange spiritual reason for why they were doing so many evil things on this island and other locations. What do you know?
Oh, hell no.
Or what did you experience related to their occult beliefs or spiritual beliefs that might differ from what people typically think of?
But, you know, over the years, after everything that's happened, obviously I never spoke about what happened. I couldn't even tell my family about what had happened. But when Epstein died and reporters started contacting me, I was given more time to sort of process, the trauma. It was like, when you just so petrified that you just compartmentalize it, you put it away, and you keep going, like in a frantic, I realized I've been in a sort of frantic trauma ever since then. I had to figure out for myself what happened. Because, of all the things that
I need to watch. I just started watching this. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, Blair White, because I would have just skimmed through it. But yeah, that's one of the ladies. She's kind of making the rounds right now, doing interviews and talking about her experience. What court document did you send, Marilyn? Oh, there was one other. You reminded me. There was another one. I don't know about this, but David Pakman, he talked about the Office Attorney General, Washington, February 27, Dear Director Patel.
Requests more than they are involved. Folks, these are public documents. Response to this request, this is the key. I received approximately 200 pages of documents, which consisted primarily of flight logs, Epstein's list of contacts, a list of victims' names, and phone numbers. Okay. They say there is no list. And
the only thing with this, though, is I feel like the flight logs are out, right? The flight logs have been put out. The contact list, the black book, that's already been put out, unless there's some other list. I received approximately 200 documents, which consistently... I wonder if they're just referring to the old stuff here. I don't know.
We suspected that was semantics, because here is Pam Bondi acknowledging before getting additional documents. This is what she already had before getting additional documents. Flight logs, which tell you where planes went and who was on the planes. Epstein's list of contacts, which, by the way, is also available. I looked at it. Ivanka Trump is on there. All sorts of people are on there. And a list of the victims' names and phone numbers. Damn, that does sound like the Epstein list, which they now claim what to have. Pam Bondi goes on to say, I repeatedly questioned whether this was the full set of documents responsive to my request, and was repeatedly assured by the FBI that we had received.
Joe, I do know that. I do know she was born. Yeah, born a man. I do know that. Yes. Can we send you some important things on email? Yeah, you can send it via, if you go to iCkEdMeL.com, submit a tip. I mean, you could just send it to my regular emails. But if you send it to iCkEdMeL.com, the send an email thing or information, submit a tip, it'll send it to one of my private inboxes where I don't get like all this spam crap. That's the problem with my inbox, is you put it out there and then you just start getting all this spam, and then it's hard to even read it anymore. So I have this email on the back end that's just for people that submit a tip. If you want to send it through there,
the full
you can.
Set of documents. Late yesterday, I learned from a source that the FBI field office in New York was in possession of thousands of pages of documents related to the investigation and indictment of Epstein. So here, Pam Bondi is saying, not only do I have 200 pages of documents, which certainly meet the colloquial definition of the Epstein list, she is aware of something that is at least 5 times larger, right? At least 1,000 pages, and she says thousands, so it actually could be at least 10 times larger or more than what she already has. And now we're supposed to believe there's no list? The FBI had thousands of pages conform.
Again, some of these people, I think Pacman's sometimes a little bit disingenuous, but some of these people have never had any kind of interest in this stuff. Now all of a sudden they have interest, when Trump's in there now. Let's check my email here. Okay. So yeah, I don't want to play the whole thing. I'll just read it. But there was this file, and yeah, they had previously talked about this. I mean, they have been talking about all this stuff. I mean, I don't know why it's like just the shock that when the supposed results come out, people are not agree with it or too happy about it. I don't know what's so shocking about that. I gotta check I see my emails have a bunch of the black book got leaked. Yeah, somebody sent me the black book. I don't even want to. I'm kind of afraid to open this file. I don't even want to open this shit. What is this? But the black book has been out for a long time. Let me download this. Let's see what it is. It's pictures. I don't know if I want to open this shit. What the fuck is this? This is pictures. If this is the black book that I'm thinking of, this has been out for a very long time. It's not anything new. I'll take a look at it though. I don't want anything on my computer. Yeah. I remember the first time the list came out, I was afraid to even have it on my computer. It's a JP2 file. What the hell? I guess I have to take a look at it sometime. Okay, Zara, I got your email. Oh, somebody told me they used to know this guy. The house guy? The guy that killed these people at a church? Yeah. I see you. Thanks. Okay, I got that. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, I'm caught up on that. Guy's house. Oh, his criminal record. Oh, yeah, she forgot she sent me this. Contempt of court. Mischief. I'm about to take a look at this. Jojo. So yeah, man, I don't know. It's been a shit show with the whole thing that's happening. I mean, maybe it'll blow over eventually. I mean, everything kind of blows over, I guess, at some point. Maybe it'll blow over. Maybe this whole thing was just to get people to vote and rally behind some cause, you know. But on the bright side, we have Coca-Cola coming out with the sugar cane now. Something to be excited about. Also, you know, Elmo was canceled. With the account was canceled. The account issued like a big apology. I thought it was kind of funny. And somebody here said the coolest part about Elmo being hacked post is the most insane people online are treating Elmo like he's a real guy. So somebody came and replied under his thing and said, "Resign." He posted the most vile hate speech since the latest Tucker Carlson podcast, saying what you did about the Jews is Nazi-style rhetoric. And you should be out of a job at the very least. You're a disgrace and should be far away from anything to having to do with children. Supposedly the account got hacked. And whatever. But, you know, some people, I guess they want Elmo gone. Want Elmo gone. Elmo. All right. Spider-Man pulled up to the Bay.
Bay Area, I'm inside you. Let's go explore. Yo, we brought Spider-Man to the hood, bro. I was really swinging that bitch on Cedars. People saying that they saw Spider-Man at a sideshow? What the fuck? On my mama? Yeah, this shit smack. Cool girl, but I didn't make it out of school. My spidey senses tingling. But I didn't listen. I was optimistic.
He didn't even hand me a towel.
All right.
Oh, no. Yo. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. Oh my gosh.
Me a towel.
All right, yay area. I'm out this hoe. Keep going, dumb.
Oh man. Spider-Man. All right, I guess that's it for tonight. This was weird too, though. This story. Somebody had tagged me in this. Cop sees 21 kids, including 17 toddlers, from California couple who had them via surrogacy. Smells like trafficking, somebody said. 21 kids see 17 toddlers? What? Go Jun Zun and Sylvia Zhang were arrested for child endangerment after they discovered 21 children they had through their own surrogacy business. Wow. What the? Kayla Elliott was one of the couple's surrogate mothers. After 21 children have been taken to the Department of Children and Family Services, Zhang and Wan have been charged with felony child endangerment. Police found the kids inside of their Arcadia, California home. Is this their home? Look like a mansion. While investigating complaints of a 2-month-old who had been suffered traumatic brain injury. Is this their house right here? This is what the alleged trafficking business got them? The discipline, both verbal and physical, was severe to the point where it supported the beliefs that child abuse was occurring. Officials believe all the children are the biological offspring of husband and wife Zhuan and Zhang. They were primarily birthed through multiple women hired through their own surrogacy business. Wow. They're probably selling them kids, yeah, I guess. But the surrogates hired from around the country weren't aware that they were carrying the couple's embryos and that there were multiple other surrogates. Many of the children birthed through surrogacy, and then the male and female at the residence took legal guardianship of those kids. God, you can only imagine what was going on in that house. Oh my gosh, over here on TikTok. Hey guys, I'm a pregnant baby. Yeah, look at that. In a $4 million home, 10,000 square foot home, had a similar layout to a hotel. The outlet reported. To a hotel. It was kind of set up like a hotel with a big giant lobby. What? And all the rooms are like suites. And like around what I can only describe as a hotel desk. What? That is weird. We're gonna have to check. We're gonna have to look into that. See if we get any more information on that when it comes out. That's weird. Wow. Like a hotel plaza over there with a hotel lobby, everything, and a bunch of kids. In a $4 million mansion. Whoa. It's diabolical, man. All right, guys. I'm out of here. Have a good night. Asian Epstein, yo, for real. Be safe, man. Have a good night. Thank you, guys. Take care. Peace. Bloop, 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 bloop.